further ado, Neve, Arthur, come on out, talk to us.
Awesome, thank you so much. And I apologize in advance if there's any weird noise or whatever. My internet is being super crazy today. It's actually crazy a lot of the time. My internet is kind of bad, and I still make money online, so it's all good. But what's actually been coming up for me, listening to you guys talk, I talk a lot. I'm a mom. My real drive and motivation in wanting to create a home business was to stay home with my kids. But I realized something today, in hearing you guys talk. There's this whole other kind of side of it. I was having this conversation with my younger brother in the car today. He was telling me a funny story about this terrible internship he had and how he walked out. And I went, oh, that's like that time I walked out on this one job at a snooty department store. And then he was talking about this other job that he had quit. And I was like, oh, that's like that time I quit that job and I gave them a month's notice because I cared about them. And then they turned around and slapped me with a 2-week notice and get out of here. And he sort of said to me, well, he was like, you've really had a lot of jobs. And looking back on it, I mean, in something like a 8-year career, I had something like 10 jobs. And it was kind of funny. When I looked at it, I went, oh, wow, it's not because I can't commit. It's not because the jobs weren't the perfect job. It's because every single job felt wrong to me, because I would get up in the morning and feel like somebody else had a say over my life and over what I could or couldn't do. And I found that I was defining myself by the limits of what a boss was telling me I could do. I shared this with someone else recently, that for a long time I had this belief about myself that I was middle of the road, that I was a very average person because one boss had said that to me. And I had to look at, who was I looking to as authority? Who was I looking to in my life? And it's really funny, like I kept switching jobs because I kept thinking, if I just get the perfect job, then it'll take away this feeling, then I will find the right place, right? And when I was eventually exposed to home-based business, that's when I truly found my home, because I went, oh, there are other people who feel the way I feel. There are other people who feel like their life is being sucked out of them when they're going to a job and wasting their time in a job all day. There's other people who feel like they're playing smaller than they were meant to play in life. And once I discovered that, I really wanted to do it. I just didn't know how. So I started network marketing, and I really didn't want to do things like home parties and stuff like that. And for those of you watching, I hope you realize, the reason people build on home parties is because it's a chance for people to make connections and to see the people behind a company. And we were talking about leverage. You do realize that what we are doing right now is the equivalent of the 2013 home party. The reason why this is better is because it's leverage, is because we can use technology to stream into everyone's home who wants to be there. We're not reliant on this 10-mile radius around our house and dragging our friends and family into it. We can truly reach more and more people this way, and we're also not reliant on just growing our own skills. We can take the skills of the leaders, the people who have these amazing stories and who want to share this with the world, who have so much to give. You are hooking into that right now. It's leverage, and so that's why when Scott was saying to click the join button and share it right now, it's because this is the ultimate way in network marketing business to still make those connections, to still have that personal connection while leveraging the power of the internet. So that's just a little side note there, but really, kind of for my story, when I really broke through in home-based business was when I found Empower, because what I saw in Empower, which I never saw before, was I saw the real people breaking through. It didn't, because before it had felt to me like there were these people who were like leaders and they were amazing and they were at the top, and that everyone else was struggling. That was a story I had in my head about how network marketing worked, that there was only the leaders and then the struggling masses. And when I discovered Empower, I saw something different. And it took me a little while to see it because I had been dragging my past and my crap from thing to thing to thing. I kept dipping my toe in. I kept saying, I kind of want to do it, but I don't want to give up some beliefs that I have. I don't want to give up this kind of like thing that felt bigger, and it felt so real because I dragged something. I picked it up somewhere along the way as an excuse to not do the work because I didn't really want to do work. So I told myself, oh, it's okay because I'm not a leader, so I'm not going to make money anyway, so I just won't do any work. That was kind of my MO in network marketing. And I dragged that kind of huge piece of baggage from thing to thing to thing. And then I got to Empower, and I got slapped in the face. And I got slapped in the face by the stories. I could no longer hold that belief because I looked around. There was too many normal people having success, having massive success, and having new success. And I went, wow, oh my goodness, this is possible. And what happened then was that I had been going on this timeline. You know your timeline. You know how you look at your past and you're looking at it and you're kind of know what it was, and then you look forward to the future from that position, and the future is just more of the same. Because if you're looking at your future right now, you're probably seeing something that looks a little bit like your past. So how do you change that? How can you create a new future? Well, it's all about making an unfamiliar decision. It's all about doing something that's different than you've ever done before. Now, I had joined other network marketing companies, but I had never joined it and given myself a gift of emptying my cup, of saying, this is possible for other people, and that means it's possible for me. And when I did that, suddenly I found myself following the 8 core commitments, and suddenly I found myself achieving massive success incredibly quickly because my timeline changed. I was looking forward to this future that was more of the same because me follows this pattern, and then I made this decision that broke that pattern. It broke the pattern in an instant because it was different from any decision I'd ever made before. I decided to do something and to do it with the belief that it would work for me, and it worked. And my timeline went from this boring, normal, same, to shooting off in a new direction with a new realm of possibility. And that's what you have facing you right now. You may not realize it, but the only thing standing between you and a new realm of possibility in your life is a decision, is a different decision than one you made before. Because if you're kind of looking at the button going, oh, but I had this in the past and this happened and whatever crap you're bringing to the table, that crap is exactly what is the reason that your timeline will stay the same unless you make a decision to break it. And it just is some kind of action, it's some kind of decision that you need to make. I can tell you what I think. I think for you, your decision is to click on the red button and join with an open heart, knowing that the prosperity team will lock arms with you and pull you forward together. All you have to do is be willing to empty your cup and be willing to believe in a new possibility for yourself. So that's how I created a total transformation. And looking back on it, it was instant. As soon as I made that decision, it took me 2 months before I was making $5 grand in a month, and then I was making $8 grand in a month, and then I was making 12 grand in a month, and then 17 grand in a month. And before, that was completely alien, impossible to me. But what broke it was making a decision, and making a different decision, and deciding that this was a new vantage point. It's not, oh, this is going to be another pattern like my patterns, like what I've always done. No, this is totally brand new. And the reason it's new is because you are bringing with you a new possibility, a new openness, the ability to follow the steps and to lock arms with the prosperity team. The prosperity team is bringing for you leverage. It's bringing for you the power of the internet, the power of live streaming home parties into, houses all over the globe. We're bringing you the power of what works now, and you just have to bring yourself to the party. So that's what I have to share with you guys tonight, and yeah, it's an awesome place to be, I got to tell you.
Wow. Oh, man. Niamh, it's always so great to hear your perspective on stuff, and you really just bring so much to the table. A couple of things that I think a lot of people, really relate with is the fact that, we are just real people. Typically you go to different company events if a person's with a different company,